Hello YouTube, this is Anything's Possible Music here. This is a pretty brief review of my Sire M2 5-string bass. Can you hear that growl? Now basically I decided to try my luck at a 5-string bass. I've been playing 4-string basses for quite a while. I've been playing drop D, C tuning. I've got into a bit of B tuning before, but I decided to try out a 5-string bass, and so I went and purchased this Sire M2, about 250 quid, which is pretty cheap, very cheap actually, but it's an absolute bargain really. I really do like it. For 250 quid, it's really good. You got there's my Fender, that's like 750 quid. I've got my Sire M7 here. There's my Sire M7. Not M7, V7. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's really good. So what do I really like about it? For 250 quid, it's an absolute bargain just to experiment with this high, low B sound. It's really good. Really good for 250 quid. Things I really like about it, I do like the black bridge. You never see many black bridges going around, so I really like that. I really like the controls. The controls are actually really nice. They're sort of a bit rubbery up here. They're quite rubbery. These ones here, the stack knobs are quite rubbery, which I actually prefer. I actually prefer the knobs on here to the ones on my V7, which, if you've seen the video for my V7, I actually said is one of the things I don't like about my V7 is I think those knobs are a bit cheap. So yeah, these knobs are pretty good. You got obviously the bass and the mids, the trebles and the tones. So if you want a more detailed review of that, then go and check out a proper video. I'm only literally giving you a very basic review here. So if you're looking to go from a 4-string for a 5-string and you don't want to really invest a lot of money in it, then I would say this M2 is absolutely brilliant. I do like it. I will eventually do a couple of songs which I'll put on my Spotify channel. Over the next couple of years, I would like to do a bit of heavy metal, and I was looking at some like Kais music the other day about things like Slipknot as well. I'm trying to do a few covers of Slipknot, and this is basically really good for it. So for 250 quid, if you want to invest in a 5-string, this is a really nice 250 quid's worth of bass. It doesn't sound, overall it doesn't sound as good as my V7. Obviously my V7 is about £500 compared to 250 quid. So this is literally half the price of my V7, and my V7 is now my go-to bass. Obviously there's my Fender there, and I hardly actually touch it really because I'm playing my V7 a lot of time. But going back to the M2, if you're looking for a 5-string bass, then I do highly recommend this. It's really good just to play around and experiment with the low B sound. So yeah, it's the rest of the strings don't sound quite as nice as my V7. So there's the chain. So actually, if you play the same thing on your V7, it sounds a bit more better and a bit better quality. So you can tell the difference when you're playing around. I'm not the greatest bass player in the world, so I'm not going to pretend I am. So now I'll move on to a couple of things I don't like about it. The thing I don't like about it mainly is it's quite sharp. It's like very sharp around here. It's quite sharp around here as well. It's not as smooth as my my V7, definitely not. So it's definitely like, oh, this is like proper sharp here. It's like not very smooth at all. So not that it matters, it's not like you're going out, but that's one of the disadvantages of the thing. The other thing I don't like about it is I find this to be quite cheap. It's the fact they couldn't paint it around the side, I found not very nice. It's the one thing that irritates me about it. Every time I look at it, I just think, why did they not just paint this black? It would have just looked a lot better. So that's just a minor thing, but that's just a design thing. But that's what I don't like about it. So these and that are things I don't like about it, but for 250 quid, I don't think I'm going to complain really. So there's the Open E. Doesn't sound quite as nice as my V7, but like I explained, V7 costs twice as much. But this, ideally, I'm just giving this video to tell you that if you want to get a 5-string bass and you're just looking to invest in a cheap one, I would go with this M2 all day long, just as a playing around thing. If you want to then invest in something a bit more expensive, like I think it's the M7 one above that, then that probably will be, that will definitely sound like the V7 but in the M version. But yeah, for 250 quid you will not go wrong with this. Honestly, I think it's a really good purchase for 250 quid. There's obviously going to be some better videos out there, better quality bass players than me, but for 250 quid I do not think you can go wrong with this. I think it's absolutely brilliant and a really good purchase as something to learn. One of the other things I don't like about it is, obviously, if you are used to playing a 4-string, when you move to a 5-string, the strings are slightly closer together, so your hand memory of when you're going around, it's like you just, where you would normally go down a certain space, you sort of sometimes can miss your note because obviously the strings are a bit more close together, not spaced out. So, but that just comes with practice really. But so this is the V7. Sorry, M2. What am I on about? I'm obsessed with my V7. So which is also a brilliant bass. So if you go and watch my video for that. But obviously, anything's possible. Please check me out and subscribe to my channel. Please check out my music. You can find that, or you can find my debut album in the playlist under album and singles, so you can have a listen to that. Obviously, I would prefer if you could go onto Spotify and give it an hour of your time. Over the next few years, I'm going to be definitely writing a lot more music on all of my basses, my Fender, my M2 and my V7 down there. So there's lots of music to come, hopefully. So please follow me. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Now go out and buy one of these, because honestly you will absolutely love it. All the best. Anything's possible, remember.